Hi, this is a question from a person whose wife has been on dialysis for at least 10 years, and during this time she is undergoing dialysis about 3 times a week, every second or third day. And she is very tired in doing that, and obviously, this is interfering with her life.
When doctors tell someone their kidneys are dead, most people take it as a final sentence. But here's the catch: organs don't simply die while a person is alive. If the kidneys were truly dead, decomposition would set in and the body would not survive. What's far more likely is that they're in a kind of shutdown, an overwhelmed state, not functioning at full capacity, but not beyond hope either.
Greatly. Her doctors have told her that her kidneys are dead and she would never be able to recover her kidney functions. Her husband tried to tell her that perhaps liver flushes could help her, but she's convinced that this is not going to help her recovering her kidneys. I can only tell you that the idea that the kidneys are dead, that's quite ludicrous, because if her kidneys were dead, she would have decomposing kidneys. They would basically completely disintegrate and would cause sepsis in the body, and the person would obviously die from that very quickly. So to say that the kidneys are completely dead and non-functional, that is just a misconception. That's a myth. That doesn't happen. So it's important to realize that perhaps the kidneys are in the sleeping mode for the time being, but whatever is asleep can also be reawakened.
Think of it like this: the kidneys are filters, but filters can clog. If you leave a water filter uncleaned, it stops working. But that doesn't mean it's broken forever. Flush out the blockages and the flow returns. The same concept applies here, supporting the body so the kidneys can wake up and handle more of their natural workload.
I've seen people who have been on dialysis for a long period of time and recovered their kidneys, not to full capacity, but at least to a point that they didn't need continuous or regular dialysis to basically remove urine components from the kidneys. So I would suggest, if she's open to that, to consider cleaning out the liver. I've discussed the relationship between the liver and the kidneys to a great extent in my book, The Amazing Liver and Gallbladder Flush, and there is a very strong connection between these two organs, because the liver is responsible for taking out metabolic waste products and passing them on to the kidneys for excretion. If the liver is not doing its job properly, the kidneys can easily get overwhelmed with toxins and waste products that are not broken down properly by the liver, and therefore they can injure the kidneys to a point that the kidneys become so congested that they're not able to remove urine to the level that they need to in order to not become congested and overwhelmed themselves.
Here's a key insight most people miss: the kidneys don't work in isolation. If the liver isn't breaking down toxins properly, that burden gets dumped onto the kidneys. Over time, they get congested. That's why any real kidney cleanse has to start with liver support. This isn't just about one organ, it's about the entire detox system working synergistically.
So it's important to find ways to decongest the body, including the intestines, the liver, and to eat a diet that is not contributing to damage to the kidneys, such as a high protein diet, which is important to avoid for anyone who has kidney trouble, because damaged proteins can severely interfere with kidney functions. So it's best to be on a vegan vegetarian diet, which has shown to ease up the stress on the kidneys and to allow the kidneys to help themselves and clean themselves out.
Diet becomes a hidden lever here. Proteins, especially from meat, create waste products like urea and uric acid. In a struggling kidney, those waste products back up, causing more damage. Switching to a plant-based diet lightens the load. Add hydrating fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, and suddenly the kidneys aren't fighting upstream anymore.
I would also encourage her to take the kidney cleanse tea for at least 3 times a year for about 20 days each to start decongesting the kidneys and allow the kidneys to reawaken some of their functions and to start taking over some of the things that currently only her dialysis sessions can do for her.
This is where things get practical. The kidney cleanse tea isn't just a herbal hype. It's typically made with parsley, marrowjam, comfrey, fennel seed, juniper berries, and chicory root. These herbs work as mild diuretics and anti-inflammatories, helping to flush out sand-like crystals and improve circulation through kidney tissue. Doing this a few times a year gives the kidneys a reset button they desperately need.
So I would also recommend to do something that is not very popular in North America, but in Europe it is very popular, and that is to use some of her own urine that is formed perhaps to a small amount or that she can derive from the dialysis machine, to use some of the urine, the formed urine, and take it back orally into the body. And that has shown to greatly benefit the kidneys. My mother, whose kidneys were failing, when she was in her 60s and 70s, she completely recovered her kidney functions simply by drinking her own urine, and she was able to live another 25 years, and quite comfortably so.
Now, this part may raise eyebrows. Urine therapy has been controversial, but historically it's been used in several traditional healing systems. The theory is that recycled compounds in urine can trigger the body's adaptive responses. Whether one chooses this or not, the underlying lesson is clear. Unconventional methods often point to how resilient the kidneys can be when given the right stimulation.
There are different ways one can help the kidneys even in such a dire state, that eating certain foods such as asparagus frequently can also contribute to better kidney functions. And once again, avoiding foods that interfere with the kidneys, which include animal proteins such as meat, chicken, fish, eggs, and also the sugars, artificial sugars, artificial sweeteners, food additives, junk foods, fried foods, deep fried foods should all be avoided. Sugar in particular can raise the uric acid levels dramatically and can cause kidney stones and crystals and kidney sand, which can diminish the functions of kidney cells dramatically.
Asparagus isn't just a side dish. It contains compounds that gently stimulate kidney function and act like a natural flush. On the flip side, processed foods, refined sugar, and additives create crystal deposits that choke kidney cells. Every bite becomes either a burden or a boost. This isn't about restriction. It's about choosing foods that let your kidneys breathe again.
So I recommend wholeheartedly to just eat natural foods that are not processed or not manufactured in factories. I hope that this will help her if she takes advantage of this information, and I wish you all success in that.
The takeaway? Kidneys don't just die. They can be burdened, congested, or pushed into dormancy. But with diet shifts, herbal cleansers, and a focus on liver-kidney synergy, recovery is more possible than most people are told.